You keep coming at me, we'll keep coming back. You're going to slowly but surely see every one of those negative YouTube videos taken down for copyright infringement by James Saroka. Taken down for copyright infringement by James Saroka. Taken down by copyright infringement by James Saroka. Every single video. Start looking for them. I want you to go looking for the negative videos about me and look in those playlists. You'll notice 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are already gone. We're doing them through copyright infringement through YouTube and they're getting taken down. Welcome to Feet Peace, the most positive community throughout social media. We are officially taking off as a platform and there is not a goddamn thing you're going to do about it. Feet Peace out.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the James Saroka Episode 2. This has been a very long-awaited video. Several months ago, I made the James Saroka Files Part 1, A Worse Onision, and that video got over a total of 600,000 views. I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of feedback that you guys gave me on that video, and there just so happens to be so much content to dive into with the world of James Saroka that I foresee a Part 3 in the very near future. However, before we begin, special thanks to our incredible sponsor of the channel today, known as Vessi. Look at the flexibility of this shoe. This is ultimate. If Spider-Man had shoes, these would be the ones that he would be wearing. The best part of all is that these shoes are 100% vegan. Not just that, but they're super lightweight, they're breathable, they have fantastic grip for all types of weather. They're even 100% waterproof. Just look at this, it's been really hot recently. The water just bounces right off. These shoes are super comfortable, and if you use my vanity URL, linked down below, vessifootwear.com/Repzion, you'll get $40 off your first order for these incredible, amazing, comfortable, vegan sneakers. I wear these shoes on the daily, and I do not regret it at all. Support the channel, click the link for ultimate comfortability. So near the end of my last video, I gave this particular screenshot, which was posted on his Instagram story. Now, it's interesting to note because this is going to be a common trend that you're going to see in the future of James Saroka, that if you perform a reverse image search, you'll find this photo of tons and tons of gift cards. All of these cards came as one, and he's pretending that somebody sent him tons of gift cards. And basing upon the fact that you use an image that isn't yours and you pass it on as being yours, you have to take that into account for the rest of this video. James Saroka is somebody who is a con man. More specifically, he is somebody who likes to lie about his sponsorships or the brands that he's working with. One video in particular gets the grand idea to say in his Periscope live stream that he is going to get a brand new iPhone.
At the end of the trip, close to the end of the trip. Oh my god, I went to Tom's. Killing me, bro. I didn't say AT&T sponsored it. I said it's sponsored through AT&T. Or did I say bye? Whatever. Same deal. Sponsored through AT&T.
Now, the funny thing about this is that as somebody who has had sponsors, as someone who has worked with brands, I know firsthand experience that you really have to have the numbers and you gotta have the views. The views are what sponsors care about the most. James Saroka on average maybe estimates around 30 to 50 viewers per stream on his Periscope, and I know for a fact that a company like AT&T wouldn't give somebody a $1,000 phone, much less claim that they're in sponsors, that they're working with them, and that's exactly what AT&T said. People reached out to AT&T because, you know, if you have somebody who's claiming that they have a relationship with a company, the most common thing to do is to reach out to that company and ask for clarification. Here's a video clip of this con man claiming AT&T is sponsoring him and giving him free AT&T sponsored iPhones. I have 2 to 3 more clips I'll pull up and send. Thanks again for bringing this to our attention. AT&T does not sponsor this individual. Well, there you have it. That was kind of clear cut. But James also did this with another company. There's a company by the name of Lalo. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But they create men's tennis shoes. It's a pretty reputable company. It's a pretty big company. They've also made shoes for people in the military. But James, being James, decided it would be a good idea to also claim that he is in a branding relationship with this company. What, of course, did people do? They reached out to the company and asked, hey, James Saroka is claiming that he's part of your brand. Thanks for the note, and this is 3 to 4 people that we have a common with co-opting our relationship with our brand. He reached out to us in 2015. One of our customer service helped him with a problem with a pair of shoes. From there, he wanted a deal on some boots in exchange for social media exposure. Unfortunately for us, this request came when we were at a trade show this January, February, and no one looked him up. The good news is it fell through the cracks and we didn't do anything. Recently, he then managed to get our CS team again, and they issued him a one-time code to replace the goods that were damaged, and now we have a quote-unquote partnership. We have sent him a cease and desist this AM. We don't tolerate individuals like this associating themselves with our brand. The main problem we now have is he is an individual in a public space, and we are a public brand. But we can restrict him from using our trademarks, word marks, logos, images, and have taken the steps to do so. The other large problem he has is that we have his address and we have some of his friends in the area. I really appreciate the note, and thanks for reaching out. James Saroka craves being labeled as the big guy, this famous periscoper who makes sure that he streams every day and interacts with random people on the internet. Because again, James Saroka is a famous person. So of course, if you're a super famous person now, why not just reach out to AT&T and different shoe companies, claim that you're working with them when you're not? There's really no reason to do this unless you're really not as famous as you claim to be, and it just makes you, at the end of the day, James, look like a laughingstock. Now, one of the funny things that occurred after my video on James is that he actually tweeted at me directly and tagged me on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should probably go do that because there are some interesting conversations and dialogues that occur on that platform. But one of the key arguments that James was throwing around at me, but I don't have, but you can see that he deleted the tweet because its tweet is unavailable, is that he was claiming that I made a video about him simply because I wanted his clout. Which in particular cases, I can understand the clout argument. That is, in particular areas, that does make sense. But I don't think you understand how clout actually works. Because if you're somebody who literally has like hardly any following, me making a video about you, what clout am I gaining from that other than the fact that you had a YouTube channel and you had tons and tons of live streams of you doing and saying horrible things to your girlfriend, or I should say now ex-girlfriend, and that was all documented on your channel and posted online by you. Like, it was streamed on the internet. If your argument is that I'm a clout chaser because I used your content, I'm actually okay with that, even though it doesn't make any sense, because my first video really dived into the fact of how you treated your ex-girlfriend in live streams and publicly, and it was just, it's not normal behavior that somebody exhibits. Now, about a year or two ago, James allegedly had a experience with a random stranger, which led to James creating a GoFundMe page in James's name for this alleged person who got into a car accident.
Guys, go to GoFundMe.com/Vince'sMiracle and read the story. Can't deny with serious trauma, it's a liability. Well, then maybe I got fooled. I tried to do a good thing, but I left my information with him, and I have to wait for him to get back to me. He said that he has a wife and a 5-year-old, or a 5-month-old child. He was trying to get a... No, bro. He was, like, trying to get me to call his wife. Maybe I'm dumb then. Maybe I'm just dumb. But you know what? I had a guy walk up to me that was covered in blood, and he needed my help. So I helped him. I'm not here to judge this. I love you guys and I'm thankful for you, but I am so sick of the cynicism and the criticism. Guys, if somebody comes up to you and is bloody like that, what are you going to do? And for a stranger? Like, I tried to make a difference. I tried to do something for him, okay? I'm sorry if it was wrong. I don't know, okay? I don't know and I don't care. He walked up to me, destroy. And he asked me to take him to his girlfriend's house. I go, no, I'm going to take you to the hospital. So I took him to the hospital, and we got him checked in, and he said what's going on with him, and they took him in, and now they can't tell me anything. Isn't that wrong? I was just trying to, and I'm going to get emotional about this, because, guys, I'm sick of getting emotional. I ain't getting emotional anymore. I'm sick of this. You know how much I care about people, and I didn't know how to handle it. Like, he was literally, like, dying, and, like, what was going on in his head? Like, he wanted to go to his wife's house. No, I'm not in Pennsylvania. I'm in, like, Virginia. He wanted to go to his wife's house. I'm like, bro, you're in shock and you're bleeding profusely. We're going to the hospital. It's GoFundMe.com/Vince's Miracle. Vince, VinceSMiracle. It's the name of this broadcast. For taking to the ER. I don't know. People do that. People sue people for nothing. Like with medical stuff, people sue people for nothing. I don't even know his last name. He told me his last name, but I forgot it. My details to him, then he couldn't sue you. Well, I have his name all over the internet and attached to my name, so he'll find me at one point or the other. But I want to help him. So I'm just going to pray and hope that God protects me on this and make sure that it follows through appropriately. But this guy, I don't know what his situation is, but whatever his situation, he's telling the truth about his wife. He's telling the truth that he has a kid, okay? I'm going to tell you something right now. He seems like a real stand-up dude. He really does. I didn't have the best father, all right? So he asked me, he goes, bro, I can't thank you enough. He's like, well, what can I do in return? I look him dead in the face. I said, you better be a good father. I said, that's what I said to him. I said, you be a good father, because I didn't have one. I said, I can tell you're a good dad. Be a good dad. Then that's repayment enough.
You can see a screenshot here. This was the GoFundMe. He posted a photo of the guy's face, apparently. I was trying to find if this was if this image was already on the internet, because again, Jim does have a history of using images that are already on Google, and then just using reverse image search, but I couldn't find it because, well, this is a GoFundMe page. But you can see the whole page here, and he did get money for this GoFundMe. Whether or not this was legitimate, I don't really know. I have a hard time believing this. I'm going to say this is an alleged fraudulent GoFundMe based upon James' past history of taking people's money and scamming them. Now, in my last video, I showed a particular clip of somebody who James pretty much kind of brought into his little circle by the name of Josh. But what we do know, and this has been established fact, is that James used Josh financially and took all of his money.
My name is Jim, this is Josh, Kate is in the bathroom, and we're the Feet Piece fam.
It is official. I am now out of 2 toxic relationships.
Everything's moved on. Everything's positive now, so we've moved on. I know he's moved on from everything, so we're going forward now.
Josh makes enough for all of our bills, including my debt, and not his own. He is going bankrupt just to cover my debts so he can help me take care of my life.
We all just got in a fight, and it wasn't great. And, you know, Josh threw water at me, I threw water at him, and
People were right. I was controlling in the beginning. People were right. Kate and Josh were unhealthy. And the only reason I don't look unhealthy is because of my thyroid problem.
James gets on camera and brags about literally stealing and taking everything that this person owns and leaving them with nothing. Now, given this type of history with James, there's a video by Chris Anonymous, who he does an interview with a girl who actually went to high school with James. That is linked down below in the description. I've had quite a few different people reach out to me who have shown me yearbooks photos of him going to the same high school as him. I had somebody reach out to me who went to church with him, who went to youth group with him. I didn't believe it at first, but they sent me the yearbook and the church book that was involved with him and the photo of him. There is going to be a part 3 of James Saroka, I promise you that. But there's actually another GoFundMe he created, and this was to go to Houston in order to help people who, I guess there was a big storm or hurricane. I don't know what exactly this was in reference to, but he wanted to go to Houston to help people in need. Now, I was not able to find the alleged GoFundMe donation link that he claims, that he says that he has, but I've had a lot of people tell me that it was real, and well, James confirms that it was in fact real, that he did bring in donation with a trip to Houston because he wanted to help people in need. The only problem is he never actually made it to Houston, and he claims that he had a car payment and that he had no money for gas, therefore he couldn't make the trip.
Guys, if you want to help me get to Texas, hit me up in Snapchat or another app, and I will send you a link to financially pay for the gas, because I do not have the gas to get there yet. My name is Jimmy. I was going to Houston, and now I have to turn around because my car payment's due, and I thought it'd be good to take it, and I can't, so I got to take it back, and we're going to sell the car, and then maybe I'll walk to Houston. When I tried to go to Houston to help out, and I ran out of money halfway there, and I had to turn around, and because people didn't want to pay for me to be in a risky scenario, so funding got cut off. People literally just stopped giving because as much as they wanted me to help, they didn't want to see me in a dangerous position. So the funding got cut off, and we then did a fundraiser to get back because I was out. And what the haters did was they correlated the two. They said that we turned around because it was a scam, that I scammed people and got money for Houston, when none of the finances were ever mentioned as being used for Houston, nor being collected for Houston, nor being collected make it to Houston, that they were simply collection. Guys, if you want to help me get to Texas, hit me up in Snapchat or another app, and I will send you a link to financially pay for the gas, because I do not have the gas to get there yet.
What is the greatest risk here? Risk 1, I try to go get a job.
and then my haters get me fired, and then I can't sustain an income, and then we end up homeless anyway. 2, I go to the food bank, and we end up having someone trail us home or something else bad happens. Oh my God. And there's a million other risks involved with that too. If I go get a job as a guarantee, it will not last more than 3 months. Guaranteed. Because of my haters. If I go to the food bank, it is a guarantee that we will pick up probably the worst person, because that is just like my luck, is we will find the one person who is a very, very good talker, and ends up living with us like Josh did.
So you can never work a job for more than 3 months because of your haters. That's probably one of the most laziest responses I've ever heard for actually being employed. I've been able to work a job fine in the construction industry. That just, to me, sounds like a lazy excuse. Hey, I have people who don't like me online, therefore I can't work, so I'm going to continue to beg and ask for money constantly, repetitively, over and over and over again, claiming that I don't have enough food to feed me and my girlfriend, because, again, James lives off of other people's kindness. And folks, we're still not done yet, specifically in regards to James Saroka taking advantage of a veteran. There was a Facebook tagged post, my grandfather was scammed by this fraudster. I have a receipt for a bike he conned by $850. Beware and watch this elderly. He preys on them. Now, originally I thought this could easily be fake. This may have no legitimacy at all. But the actual Google payment receipt was in fact posted. And then James went on Instagram and made a text post which reads, "Ready, set, freak out. A humongous thank you for Keith for an $800 donation to, quote, hashtag FeetPeace, a fake organization. I'm absolutely unbelievable, guys. This is only the beginning. Also, thank you, Keith, for the generous ride from town, blah, 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 blah. He's a 6-tour war veteran as an Army Ranger. Everyone in the FeetPeace family, let's give a warm military thank you for his service and FeetPeace support with Ranger Keith." This veteran loaned Jimmy $800. Didn't give him, loaned it, in order for him to get a really high-tier quality bike. We're still not done yet. Here's the problem with James, is that his excuse for things that he does and things that he says, and this was just taken about a month and a half ago. I was actually watching this live stream, which no longer exists. How convenient, but thankfully I recorded the whole thing. James blames why he thinks that he acts and does the things that he does based upon him being on the spectrum.
So before I settle for another false diagnosis, such as the bipolar that I was falsely diagnosed with, I think it's very important that I take a step back and try and figure out what's going on in my life. And if that means sometimes opening a dialogue about a potential, I realize that when I open up a live stream and I say, you know, do I potentially have autism? Could that explain some of my behavior? Could that explain some of why I haven't had those boundaries? It is me not seeking a diagnosis or trying to be a victim. It's me trying to figure out what's going on. And for anyone out there trying to just chalk that up to, hey, no, you're just a jerk or whatever. No, here's what I'm going to say. And a lot of the behaviors, I was having a conversation with someone who lives in the complex we're in, and she had said to me about her son, and I'm not going to go into detail, but a lot of his behaviors and the ways that he is as a child and the way are very similar to the ways that I was as a child. And I'm not looking to diagnose myself. I'm not looking to blah, blah, blah. I genuinely am looking for anyone out there who understands these kind of things. I could do research on my own and learn more about, you know, what's on the spectrum. I did this research a couple of months back. And sad to say, but in a lot of ways I do fit the bill, but I didn't really want to have the conversation because I don't want to accept the diagnosis. Other than maybe one that's socially pressured onto me, right?
And I'm like, wow, man, that makes total sense. Being on the spectrum is how you completely, utterly just take advantage of everybody. That's sarcasm, by the way. Now, in my last video with James, I mentioned that he lives from hotel to hotel. He lives off of people. He is a leech.
Hey guys, as you're coming on, say hello, let us know you're here. We are reaching out, asking for help, asking for a roof or just a yard that we could sleep in, somewhere to be. That's not going to cost us more than we bargained for. Kate and I spent all of our money, just a little bit that we had, on 2 or 3 days of hotel and some food, and then we had reached out to a priest for help, and I guess we, you know, I wanted to stay grateful, and I am grateful, but we weren't worth a legitimate hotel,
So we were put in a place where we ended up getting bed bugs.
This was just a few weeks ago, and notice how he says he isn't worth a hotel. He reached out to a priest, and they actually ended up staying in a church for a couple days, but I guess the church had bed bugs. Notice how he diminishes the little bit of help that he does get by always saying it wasn't enough, or always putting the people down who actually do help him in any way. I've never seen somebody more ungrateful for somebody who chooses to live a homeless-style lifestyle because of haters.
And I have bites all over my body, and so does Kate. And on top of that then is we asked for just a little vouching so that we go and get jobs, and we were told that we're not worth it. And here's how it was said. There are others in the community who need help more than you do. So we're not worth it. I'm letting you guys know. So before people go and say, hey, you know, look at Jimmy does dox people, or look, he turns his back on people. I'm not turning my back on anybody. To sit and tell me that, as a human being, that I'm ungrateful because I won't shut my mouth and say thank you for bed bugs, and then being told that I'm worthless. This is the standard. People are telling me I'm ungrateful if I don't just say thank you and walk away. That I'm lucky. That it makes me lucky that I have a fucking in my head. Excuse my language. And that I don't have to, that there's no other stipulations. Deal with the bed bugs. Okay, I'll buy a blanket. With what money? And I'll sleep on the floor. Like, this is where we're at. We're looking for a decent human being to treat us like a human being, and nobody is. And I'm glad this is happening, because it's exposing everything that's been going on, things that have happened to me, the way that the church is, the way that people are. This is how people are, is that we could have stayed in a legitimate hotel, gotten jobs, it all could have panned out. But no, hey, let me throw pennies at you. And this is what a certain family did to me in the past. This is a whole lot of people have done. Let me throw a little bit at you. I know it's not enough for you to get by. I know it's not enough for you to get on your feet. And it's not about money. I'm saying resource, help, vouching for us, right? But now it's, hey, here's a bedbug-ridden hotel, and you're not, what's it called? But then we're not going to help you with finding a job or being able to secure a job. It's not enough time. You know, we're grateful that we have a roof over our head for 2 minutes. Super grateful for that. Promise, we are super grateful for that. But what is that worth when at the end of it all, at the end of that week, as we get back out on the street and we're capable of working, we say, hey, we're ready to go to work. And we're told, you have needs. There's other people in the community that need help more than you do. Okay, so what happened to equality? I thought that all souls are equal. This is coming from the Catholic Church. I thought all souls are equal. There's other people who need more help than we do. We can get out and work. That's right, there are people who need more help than we do. So how about help us get on our feet so that we don't need your help anymore?
James, do you not understand that even small amounts of support or people putting a roof over your head, that is something, and you admit that it's something, but then you complain in the following sentence about how it isn't enough. You think the world owes you everything, and that's the problem with you, James. The level of entitlement for somebody who chooses to be homeless to live a lifestyle that you live, nobody's ever giving you enough support. There are people who don't have a roof over their heads, and I know there's a fact that people would take a roof over their heads with some bed bugs rather than sleeping on a street when it's below freezing. You're upset that some people throw pennies? Well, guess what? Pennies save. You save pennies. 100 pennies equal $1. 4 quarters equal $1. If you're being thrown small amounts of money, that stacks up over time. Learn to save.
And I thought that I found a job, and it turned out I didn't realize
It was a scam.
It was a scam.
Kate applied to a job. They sent her a check for equipment and stuff, and it was a scam. And it lifted her up, and it knocked her right back down. And Kate for the first time knew what I felt like for years. And that's how I felt for years, over and over, of being scammed. People making promises to me. With the churches, got scammed. I just got scammed because we got a roof over our head. I thought we were going to get more support and be able to get on our feet, get jobs, make everything work out.
Yeah.
And we got scammed. And now I sit here and then I look like the bad guy. And then other people are more than happy. They're more than happy to frame me. More than happy to frame me and just pile it on further.
Because if we hadn't gotten this, then we wouldn't have gotten bed bugs, and we wouldn't have had to replace our clothes.
And we had to spend the rest of our money on clothes to replace our clothes.
Yeah,
and that money was for our phone bill. And now we're not only not going to have a roof over our head, but we can't afford our next phone bill. So we'll be without a phone. And now we're here looking like the idiots and looking ungrateful because they'll turn around, the church will turn around, the priest will turn around and say, look, we put a roof on his head. Look, he's ungrateful. He must be a criminal. He must be this. He must be that. And it's not true.
Oh, but it is, James. I'm not even a fan of the church, Catholicism, or religion in general. But when kindness is shown to you, you say thank you. You don't continue to complain about it not being enough.
It's absolutely endless. And we can't rely on anyone. We're looking for one reliable... We are very reliable.
Yes.
Very reliable.
Yes.
We were left out in the cold by our own families.
Yeah.
Caitlin was kicked out of her home. I took her into the car. I didn't know what else to do. We had no resources, no money at that point. And then we got approved for a credit card we shouldn't have been approved for. And I'm thinking, oh, well, now we can go travel. We're going to make this work. We didn't plan on Caitlin's family chasing after us for over a year, harassing, framing, lying constantly. We moved in Pennsylvania. We moved into Wilkes-Barre. And her mother put posters up all over town saying that I kidnapped her.
Because Kate's family loves their daughter. They want, and I've actually spoken to Kate's mom. It was a very difficult conversation. It's one that I can't even imagine being a parent and having your young daughter stolen from you and manipulated and pulled out from your family, homelessness lifestyle, begging for money and people's support constantly, and scamming, committing fraudulent activity constantly, consistently. Do I need to remind you this was just you a year and 2 ago, James? You begging people, specific types of people, to give you money because you need it?
3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, there was a girl, and I wouldn't do it, and I was nice to her, and I was nice to her, and I got to know her, and we became friends. And she sent me $700 for food when I was homeless in the past. And if we don't find a way within 24 hours to figure out just one more month of rent and one more month of food until my next paycheck, but I wouldn't accept her premium. I am an honest guy. So ironically enough, I'm going to turn and ask if there are any of you women out there who do premium, if you're willing to help. This isn't going on my. Do me a favor and don't put this somewhere else, because it's really hard for me to ask for help. But I've asked for help out in the public everywhere. This is only going on Snapchat. Nobody else is seeing it. Any of you girls out there that do your premium Snapchats, if you got a couple extra dollars to spare to help us just with food, and we don't judge you. I've never judged anybody. And because I have just been so angry at people that hurt me, I now have nothing. And so I'm asking you for help so that I don't have to lose the relationship I have with my girlfriend, and that we don't have to go homeless, because we will have to by tomorrow.
James, you give a whole new definition to e-begging, and it is absolutely extreme on how selfish and ungrateful you are as a person, and you showcase this in your own videos, and you wonder why people don't want to support you, why people don't want to talk to you, why people don't like you, because entitlement only goes so far, and you hit that bar, James. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video kind of established here the con man that is James Saroka. There is going to be a part 3. Make sure to check the description of this video. Make sure to hit a like or hit that bell so you get every single video in your sub box. Until next month, which is July, get ready, because I got some spicy videos coming forward, and you won't want to miss it, especially you, Chris Hansen.